Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remaster. Today it's going to be WhiteRa versus the sequel. Spelled weird, I guess, but it's going to be an older WhiteRa replay here on Fighting Spirit. Somebody asked me to cast a WhiteRa replay, so I am. He is in Ukraine, and he is safe because he keeps tweeting about the situation that he's in. So if you want updates on how WhiteRa is doing, follow him on Twitter or X or whatever it is. Top left, it's going to be a purple Protoss. It is WhiteRa from the old TSL days, basically 2008 or so. And in the bottom left, it's going to be a brown Zerg player. I'm going to call him the sequel, even though that's not exactly what it spells or how phonetically it's pronounced, because I have no idea how to pronounce his name. It is the sequel as far as I am concerned. So, even though I don't know who he is good enough to basically do a macro game with WhiteRa. So he is good enough for our purposes. I got this replay off of Team Liquid's forums back, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years ago. It's been sitting in the folder ever since, and I'm going to cast it here today. So, Petey the Probe scouting out the wrong way. That's okay. There is RNG in StarCraft. Not a lot, but enough. Anyway, Gateway first here. No Nexus first against Zerg when you have no idea what they're doing. This is going to be an overpool play here from the sequel. Okay, let's try it. thsekaql. Yeah, that's terrible. It's the sequel. That's his name. Terry the Overlord is scouting out here. There is going to be merch at falconpaladin.store with Terry's face on it, as well as a Robert the Zealot's face. So if you are interested in that, falconpaladin.store. Boom, 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 boom. So, nobody going crazy here. I mean, look, a hatch first play on a 4-player map is not crazy. It's just kind of a little bit safer to go for the overpool. Pardon me for that sneeze I had to mute for. Goodness. And there's the hatch going down in about 2 minutes. So nothing too nuts here out of the sequel. You can be aggressive with this build because you are going to get some lings out. You can also defend against things like cannon rushes and double gate proxies as well, if that's what you're dealing with. It's just nice to have lings out a little bit earlier. It does hurt your economy a tiny bit, but doesn't, you know, kill your economy as much as going just a straight up pool first play. This is in between. It's fine. Still a build that is very viable today. Hey, look! It's Robert the Zealot doing his little march across the map here. He's not jogging. He's not running. He's not sprinting. He's just here for a power walk. And yeah, Probe gets down here, sees lings are already out. Zealot says, I am the one who must defend now. That's fair. Let's get back. Let's block this ramp. Let's wait for my buddy to show up. We'll block the ramp together. Lings are not getting through that. Let's get a Cyber Core out. Let's not quite expand yet here. And Zerg Player's expansion is going to finish up. So this is a good opening. Ooh, Macro Hatch 2. Which, against Terran, usually indicates we're going to go for a bunch of mutas off of a lair opening. But this could also be used for Hydralisks. You could use the extra larva generated from this macro hatch for a lot of hydras. So let's see. Now the gas is coming in. Let's see what we build here next as far as tech goes. If we go for metabolic boost or maybe go for hydra upgrades instead. Oh, not great. Yeah, you don't want to lose these lings, but oh, this guy gets a run by. Oh my gosh. All right, here goes nothing. Swinging on in. Sees the cyber core. Sees the gas, obviously, and nothing too crazy there. And the Zealots are like, let's head on down. But guess who saw how many Zealots there were? That's right, the Zerglings did. So they report back and say, let's get us sunken up. Let's defend, 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 defend. And on the other side, ooh, it's a Citadel. So teching up a lot faster off of one base here is WhiteRa. This sunken is going to finish. Not quite in the nick of time here, but pretty darn close. Zealots get in. Drones do have to be pulled. I mean, they have to be pulled anyway, even if the sunken was done a little bit earlier, probably, but they just get out. They're like, we don't want to fight a sunken and a handful of lings. Maybe if there were 10 of us, we'd get in there, but sunken. Good unit, man. Maybe the best static defense unit as far as how gosh darn hard it hits, which is good because it's dang expensive. It counts a drone, so infinite mining you're losing from losing that drone. And the range on that thing and the super amount and what it costs after you lose the drone, it's tough. Anyway, Zealot leg speed coming in off of one base. So Overlord doesn't decide to stick around and see what's going on. Overlord just flees, assuming it, I mean, probably assuming it's a Stargate opening. And it's Corsairs, but guess what? It's not a Stargate opening. So a lair's on the way. Metabolic boost is coming up here next. Lings do ping the probe that was here for some reason. I don't know if WhiteRa was planning on putting like a forward shield battery or something, but that'd be pretty insane. Anyway, yeah, Dragoon Zealot. Lings are like, no, you're not running by. And Dragoon, you're not killing this Sunken, my friend. I'm sorry. Absolutely not happening. Ooh, surround, trapping him a little bit there. Dragoon does take some hits. Ooh, a couple Zealots die. Dragoon. Yeah, Dragoon's dead too. Bam. But both Lings that killed the Dragoon are killed by the incoming Zealot. He's alone, though, and he says, oh, wait, no, there's another one coming. Wow, we're still making Zealots. Okay. And getting a Templar Archives. I have not seen a one-basing Protoss tech this much on the channel in some time. But this is WhiteRa we're talking about here, and he's going Spire because he's like, you're not making Corsairs. Why are you skipping Corsairs, WhiteRa? What is your plan here? Well, it's going to make 2 High Templar. Maybe going to be like an Archon Speedlot style play. That would be pretty cool. But it looks like he is setting up to expand now. Ooh, these Lings have speed. These Zealots. Okay, they see each other, just glimpse each other. I'm not sure if they were paying attention to the screen. Neither one of them is going back, man. This might turn into a weird base trade scenario. Yeah, so Sunken and like 4 Zerglings have to fight against 4 Speedlots. That Sunken gets target fired immediately. The Lings go for the run by. Oh my gosh, probes get pulled like crazy because this is not going to go well for them. Tries to make an Archon here, but it gets focused, and the Archon does not finish. Dies before it turns into an Archon. Cannon comes up. Probes are like, no, we're not letting you get close enough to our cannon. Oh, beautiful. Zealots are deep inside the main base too, though. They killed the Sunken before the second Sunken came up. Drones are dying. Lings are responding to this thing. These Zealots are moderately injured. One of them ends up going down. Drones are fighting here too. That's not good. Drones are not as good at fighting against Zealots as probes are fighting against Lings. Several more drones go down. 21 to 18 workers. The Zealots are not done yet, I'm afraid. 6 kills on that one. Oop, his buddy dies. He probably had a few kills. And then mutas pop out, and that's going to take care of the Zealot problem. Well, eventually, oh my gosh, you got another kill. 7 kills Zealot. And then the mutas are like, bye. You handle your own problems, drones. He does not get another one. He does not. Wow, but he got to cut a couple hits off anyway. Those are some really injured drones. Another Overlord comes in and says, they're in expansion yet? No. The mutas are like, we'll fight a cannon. I don't see why not. Are you going to lose a muta to this at all? Are they missing attacks? Oh, that high ground? Oh, man. Okay, this is, yeah, we're 8 minutes into this game. WhiteRa is on 1 base, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy. This is such aggression. Finally, an Archon's able to come out, and he's like, I'll handle these Mutalisks. And the Mutas are like, but we... Ooh, good nice. Should have sniped a probe. And a High Templar. No! Yes! Does get the High Templar right during the merge animation. 1 muta goes down. This isn't like 20 mutas. This is 4 mutas. It was 5 until that guy went down. There is a lot of droning going on. It's 30 drones to 25 probes. The 2 bases are really nice here for the sequel. And mutas are like, except taking a couple Archon hits to kill another probe. And then they don't. So that totally sucks. Yeah, muta control maybe not perfect here. I don't know about sending a DT down. You know there's a second Sunken here. Are you just gambling there's not an Overlord right about this spot? Because there, I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, that was weird. Okay. Oh, man, the detection range of Overlords is so much further than sometimes you think. All right, second Nexus finally coming in from WhiteRa here. He's going to start mining out his main base pretty quickly with 25 probes on this thing for the first 10 minutes of the game. That's not great. You really don't want to mine out your base that fast if you don't have a third. But this has been a pretty wonky game. DT tried to come back in, seriously? Okay. Well, DT didn't accomplish anything. This position for the Zerg player is honestly fantastic against WhiteRa. He's a bit of an underdog here. He's not someone that I, pulled up this replay expecting a Zerg win, because who is this guy? But, he's got 270 APM. He's not playing crazy fast. WhiteRa's only at 215 or so. But he's a Protoss. You don't need a ton of APM to play Protoss. He's getting a third base too. The sequel, man. Third base in it. Probe comes down for the scout. How many probes have died during their attempts to get something scouted in this game? That's a lot. A lot of probes have died. But this one's very brave. Sees the third base. And the mutas come down to take it out. Archon, 2 kills. One of probably a muta? And the other one's an Overlord, but he doesn't want to fight against Hydralisks. He never does. Hydra's range. Pretty much all that matters. I mean, shields take full damage from everything, so Archons do take damage from anything that can hit it. They just deal a lot of damage in return, and splash, which is why Mutas, with their short attack range, don't really want to get in there. Zerglings, too, unless they get a full surround on those boys. Another DT is out. This one's going to die, too. Like, easily. I don't understand. I mean, if Overlord speed was done, which... Ventral sacks before speed? Before Pneumatized Carapace. Look at this guy. La, la, la. How many hits does it take to get to the center of an Overlord? I don't know. It's like 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's like 5. Or, okay, like 6 on that one. He's dead now, but, dude, 6 kills on that guy. He's got at least 3 Overlords. He supply blocks the sequel, and that allows this DT to start hammering away. Oh, no lings pop out of that egg. On this third base and the eggs thereof. Why would you get transport? He's trying to drop some Hydras back behind this mineral line, but there are High Templar here. There are speed lots here. I did not specifically see Storm come through the production tab, but pretend it's a live game, right? Because we don't get a production tab in that situation. It has to be done. The Templar Archives has been done for like 4 minutes already. If you didn't get Storm against the Zerg, what is he doing? Yeah, I'm going to assume these boys have not been turned into Archons because they have Storm and they're ready for it. Okay, it's a Lurker drop back behind the mineral line. Once again, though, detection in the form of cannons. High Templar with Storm. Storm, 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 Storm. I don't like it. I don't like this move from the sequel. Plus, it's total... Oh, they're going to scout each other here. It's that meme where the two people are in the cars that are passing each other and they're staring at each other because, like, what are you doing here? It's exactly what that is. So both players see the drop attempt happening at the same time. Reaction time doesn't seem particularly fantastic. The sequel's not pulling any drones away. He's not really bringing any units in to save the day either. I guess he's maybe really just too focused on the fact that he's trying to drop himself, which is not going very well. But, oh, High Templar unloads. Gets a couple drone devs. And going after the Spire is pretty good. High Templar going to get a Storm down here. He does get a Storm off. Oh, my gosh. That was really good. The Lurkers, wait, where'd they go? They didn't drop inside the natural base because of the cannons and the High Templar. Dropping in the main base, also not great. There are also cannons here, but maybe in the top left, you can maybe unburrow out of the range of the detection on the cannon. The Lurkers burrow in. Probes die. Cannon. Okay, one Lurker gets focused down, but 12 kills on that Lurker. Worker counts for both players get obliterated with the Storm drop. With the Lurker drop, splash damage against workers is never good. 62 to 67. No. WhiteRa's like, I'll bring the probes in. I've probably dealt with the problem already. Nope. No, you haven't. This Lurker is still here. All of the mining. All of the mining here has been stopped. Okay, except for this guy who dies to make the point. So all 26 probes are back here on the natural base. Once again, WhiteRa finds himself mining from one base here. It's the rebasing for the Zerg. He's got some drones rallied out to the front and needed to put them to work at some point. Okay, finally an observer pops out here. This Lurker is going to die. 13 kills on this boy, though. Not bad. 15 to 30, or 15, sorry, total worker advantage here for the Zerg player. Getting a fourth base down bottom right. Once again, probe scouts. What's up, dude? Oh, the drones finally make it down here to the third base, and they say, never mind, let's go to the fourth base. That doesn't exist yet, but okay. Maybe by the time we get there, it'll be ready to go. So now the question is, did he lose the Spire? He did. He lost the Spire to those Zealots. He has to replace it. Okay, fine. He replaces the Spire. He's upgrading to a Hive. For now, it's pure Hydra Lurker. No Dark Swarm and no Plague. So this is a dicey time of the game for the sequel. And here goes nothing. Lings are trying to buy time for these Lurkers to come in, but if they just take a Storm, he needs to split these Lurks. Because there is a High Templar here. There's only one, but you can make a lot of Storms with one High Templar. More than you might think you're able to. Two Lurkers get Storm down. Dragoons trade really well against Lurks if there's no Dark Swarm, because there's not. Because we're at 15 minutes and this was delayed a little bit. Are you trying to... Yep. Trying to maybe lurker drop back here, but that cannon position especially is really good. All right, DT's trying to get into this mess. DT's not really accomplishing as much, I think, as WhiteRa would like them to. Yeah, okay. Well, Sunken Lurker manages to make it happen well enough there that Protoss doesn't just bust on in there. Third base, yep, got some more Sunkens coming up. Fourth base could use some Sunkens. I love this probe. Has been working on this hatchery for a while and has actually knocked a lot of HP off of it. And then finally it dies. So Adrenal's coming in now that the hive is done. The priority here is Adrenal instead of a Defiler Mound. I can respect this, man. Oh, and the Sunkens are covering this entrance to the third base, but not this entrance. Nah, but then maybe a flank attack does get spotted by WhiteRa. He shuts it down. Lings are like, oh ho ho, you think you're gonna make it to your friends? What if we killed you first? And the Dragoon's like, shut up! And he makes it to his friends without dying. Excellent, excellent news for him. We still threatening lurker drops here, but really this one cannon kind of shuts down the whole concept. I mean, sure, you could probably burrow a couple lurkers and kill a bunch of probes, but you would die immediately. I mean, not immediately, but to the cannons eventually. Nidus Canal is on the way. Is he trying it? Yeah, he keeps trying it. And he's like, by golly, there is a cannon there still. Huh. Wow, so we're deep into the third base here. Storm doesn't do a lot. Oh, there we go. That was a better Storm. Yeah, Adrenalings in the house, though. They do have 1-1. The Dragoons are at 1 attack, no armor. But Adrenalings, oh my gosh, the Storms. Yeah, never mind. Remember how Adrenalings are sick and awesome until High Templar show up? 11 kills and 6 kills on those High Templar joining this party. Okay, WhiteRa really wants this third base to die, and I can't blame him for it. He's really staying out of range of the Sunkens. Dude, the sequel has the ability to make a Defiler Mound, and he is just not doing it. Lurkers have to burrow in range of these. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Ow. Ow. Mutas jump in here, try to engage. The Archons are like, shut up. We got this thing. And that guy got 22 kills, but I guess, again, he was High Templar previously. Alright, so this is going to get cleared out. WhiteRa hasn't been particularly on point here. Brr, 20 kills on this boy. I mean, he's dead, but he's going to get some more kills before he dies. 23 of them, in fact, and then explodes. 31 to 38 workers in favor of the Zerg. Lurkers high ground trying to defend this fourth base. WhiteRa's on 2 bases at 18 minutes. This has been a scrappy game. Way scrappier than I thought it was going to be when I loaded it up. And that's the fun. Finally, the Fire Mound pops in from the sequel. He might try some Dark Swarm here eventually. Not right now, though, because he really needs that consume. And, you know, actually to make some Defilers. That is another thing that you can do with a Defiler Mound. Yeah, these Adrenalings are really putting some work in. 2 Zealots died there. I don't think would have died otherwise, except for the Zerglings. Not getting consumed. This concerns me. Nidus Canal will allow for reinforcements, but you actually have to put stuff in the Nidus Canal. Never mind. Nidus Canal dies. Sunken up. WhiteRa might take this fourth base down. If he's going to keep this game going, he needs to take a third base and or kill this fourth. And currently, he looks like he's just going to be able to kill this fourth. Is this a probe? No, that's an Overlord. Oh, colors are hard sometimes on the mini-map for me. Anyway, yeah, the fourth base dies. Okay, so the sequel says this is acceptable losses. We can sack this fourth base. We got 3 bases to the 2 bases of WhiteRa. And his main base is mining out, which means I will have 2 bases mining to 1 base mining of WhiteRa soon. And that is good. That is a good advantage to have. And when you're a Zerg player with StarCraft, finally consumes coming in. More DTs are being added up. Are there any High Templar at this natural base? No. What are the Scourge here for? I don't know. Scourge were like, we're here to kill observers, I guess. It seems like a bad attack. There's Archons on top of cannons. Okay, he finally pulls back. He loses a lurker for nothing. Some Lings killed down a cannon, which is all right, I guess. And then the Zerg player has to retreat. Still waiting for WhiteRa to get a third. If he does not get a third base here, he tries an attack into the third base of the Zerg and gets shut down because there are 6 Sunken colonies here with like a 7th one getting fired up. The sequel really doesn't want to die to things. at that third base. That would be disastrous for him and probably spell the end of it. And there it is. Hey, it's a third Nexus at 20 minutes for WhiteRa. Not what you want if you're a WhiteRa fan, but you know. Could be worse. What is whatting? Oh, these guys. It's fine. Look. There you go. Does take down a Dragoon. It can be hard to take down a Dragoon even if you have Adrenalings, if you can't fully surround it or pin it up against a wall where it can't move. They're slippery, man. They move. Sometimes they move unpredictably because of their bad pathing. Plague is on the way. A little bit of Plague-oo for your day. Reaver Tech. There we go. Some special tactics coming out here from WhiteRa. That's why you clicked on this game. You wanted to see some special tactics from your guy. And Reaver drops are definitely special tactics. He takes a new fourth base closer to the Protoss, though. This is intriguing. And this is actually really bad for the Zerg player, too, because he didn't have that little window where... Did another... What? Where are your overlords? How did a DT start getting kills at 21 minutes? Where are all of your overlords? Why can I find 2 of them? Wow. Now it's 33 probes to 31 drones. Wow. Where is he hiding all of his overlords? There's like 1 here. Oh, I guess they're just out across the map. Mostly. That's where they are. There's 1 at the third base. There was 1 at the main, and there just wasn't... Oh, there's 1... Well, there wasn't 1 at the natural. So, 11 kills on that DT. That should not have happened. That's going to allow WhiteRa to get right back into this game. More DT shenanigans. He sees there's a base here. Good scouting information, Lieutenant DT. Anyway, Metasynaptic Node is on the way. 3 base in it here at 22 minutes is WhiteRa. And where is his Reaver? And where is his shuttle? Here it is. There you go. 1 High Templar, 1 Zealot, 1 Reaver inside that shuttle. He's going to move it out. He doesn't have shuttle speed yet, which seems weird. He's had shuttles for a while. Unless he's just being very careful. No, this appears to be its full speed, and it's not very fast. Yeah, shuttle speed gets fired up. He's like, oh, did I forget that upgrade? Maybe. Okay, drones, try to avoid this happening. Oh my gosh, 5 kills on that High Templar. Did the Reaver die? Oh no, the Reaver died. And the shuttle got killed. And this 5-kill High Templar is going to get wiped out. Ugh, that was a mixed bag for WhiteRa at best. I guess some Scourge came in when I was paying attention to the kill count on that High Templar. Okay. Yes, it's a lot harder to dodge Scourge if you don't have the speed upgrade for your shuttle, it turns out. 5th base coming up bottom right for the sequel. We'll see what we get. This is interesting. I mean, by sheer numbers here, it's 42 to 38 workers, Zerg player with a better economy, Zerg player with significantly more bases, 2 extra bases on top of what WhiteRa has right now. He's got Plague, he's got Defilers, so the Consume is done, so Dark Swarm is a thing, which we haven't seen yet here in 23 minutes. But, as I was trying to say earlier, there's this window where you're supposed to be able to have Dark Swarm and stuff before the Protoss has Reavers. And if you don't have that window, it's tough. It's really, really tough to win the game. So, new Nidus Canal coming in. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. We don't see Ultras in this matchup very much anymore. So that's why I like casting some of the older games. I like that he's making Scourge, but not like going crazy with them. Just got Scourge to deal with potential drops. Yeah, I mean, this Zerg player, I don't know who he is. But by golly, does he know how to play this game? I'm going to do a quick Google search of his name. THSEKAQL. Google. Google's like, you want an SQL tutorial? No, I don't Google. Yeah, there's nothing about this guy on the internet. Maybe if I search Brood War with his name, that might help. Sequel and Brood War. Doesn't exist. Okay, so yeah, whoever this guy is, it was some kind of a Smurf name he was using when he was playing with TSL. That's all we really know. He's good enough to hold it 25 minutes here against WhiteRa. With the wins or not, I don't know. Another drop attempt. Adrenaling Dark Swarm drop attempt here. There are Reavers in the base, though. There's the first Dark Swarm of the day. Ooh, Robotics Bay gets targeted immediately and killed. Reaver gets killed by these Adrenalings. Second Reaver does not get killed by these Adrenalings because, well, he's got a shuttle. He's got Archons to defend him. Lings are getting eaten up by the Zealots responding to this problem. So, you know, some important tech dies. A lot of Overlords die trying to flee. They should have retreated from an earlier state here. So it's a supply block on the sequel. And all right, that was okay. I mean, taking down tech here, which doesn't seem to be replaced by WhiteRa. He lost a Reaver during that attack, and the robotic support bay, which he, and the Templar Archives. Okay, that was a really good drop for what, like 15 Zerglings and a Defiler. Heck yes, that was a good drop. It's gonna slow down the splash damage production here of WhiteRa quite a bit. He's got a fourth base coming up around the top side. These Adrenalings, though, they got 3/3. They are full-on cracklings, plus 3 attack on the ground units. For our dude, WhiteRa. Lings run past all of that and get a... Okay, fourth base denied. Yeah, it turns out if you show up with 3/3 cracklings, surround a Nexus that is warping in, it will die very quickly. But then all the Lings die. So they went for the big non-guaranteed damage and got it, but then lost like 20 Lings in the process. The bigger problem here... Okay, Reaver dropping. Yo, big Reaver drop. Appeared not to have killed many drones, but a big swing of Zerglings did get killed there. So 49 to 40 workers. It's not exactly 64 workers here or 65 for the Zerg player where they want to be when they're constantly swarming. But denying that fourth base and the natural base mining out here from WhiteRa. This has got to be a big-time move here from WhiteRa, and he does. He's got a really nice anti-Ling army. But 7 Ultras are on the way. They have chitinous plating yet? I don't know. Let's find out together if the man has chitinous plating. It's going for another drop while this is happening. Lurkers, top of the ramp. Dark Swarm would be good. If you want to plague stuff instead, Defiler's wiggling around, gets a Dark Swarm up and eats a Storm. Okay, here's the Ling drop inside the main. Simultaneous attacks going on. Okay, Lings inside the Dark Swarm. This might actually just be held by Zerglings magically enough. The upgrades on the Lings, man. Plus the presence of the Lurker. Okay, no, it's not enough to hold it alone here. But he brings, oh, the slow Ultralisks in to save the day. All of this tech. The Robotics Bay is going to die again. Okay, the Storms have to be really good here to shut this thing down. We didn't have enough energy for Storm because we turned ourselves into Archons instead. Holy crap, Robotics Bay gonna die. The Ultras do clean all this stuff up. They don't have the speed upgrade yet, so they can't get anywhere fast. The Robotics Bay dies again, and the Templar Archives get sniped for the second time in the game. It's 158 to 83 supply. What is happening? Ooh, a Plague. Plague caught a couple of Zealots, and that's your GG. WhiteRa taps out. He asks for a rematch. The sequel says... I don't know. He's like, come on, rematch? No, says the sequel, can't. And that's it. He taps out. Takes down WhiteRa. Did I press P again? I did press P again after it was already paused. And that restarts the darn replay. So let's watch this in super duper fast forward. But yeah, man, this started with an overpool. Overpool with gate opening Zealot pressure on the mind. We got some Ling pressure. We got some Zealot pressure on the other side. But the sequel was able to hold it off. Didn't lose too many drones in the early game. From there, he went for a Lurker drop attempt. There was a Storm drop that did some work here too, but there was never really a good Storm or Reaver drop that just absolutely destroyed everything that sequel had, right? There wasn't really that moment that every Protoss is looking for in a game like this. But yeah, the sequel knows what to do. He didn't make too many Scourge. He didn't make too few Scourge. He used Dark Swarm. He used Plague. He got Ultralisks out. He harassed WhiteRa. WhiteRa not getting a third base as fast as I feel like he needed to was also a big-time mistake. And I don't think... No, he did. I was going to say, he never lost a base, and there goes the fourth base. That goes down, but the third base was strong. New fourth base was strong, too. WhiteRa's able to get the third. There's not really an attack on that one. And then this attack gets cleaned up thanks to the slow shuttle. I think with fast shuttle, that probably goes better for WhiteRa. And then at the end of the day, it's just too many bases. This base gets canceled by Zerglings. This attack does get cleaned up by Ultralisks. And then the drop on the main base, the second drop on the main base, is absolutely destructive. Insanely so. So, I mean, that was... Man, that was something to behold. What a great, great display of how to play. How to play ZVP from this unknown Zerg player. Do we assume WhiteRa knows who this is? Maybe he does. If I tag him, I'm like, hey, do you remember who the sequel was from like 15 years ago? He'll be like, yeah, no, that's, that was In Control playing Zerg. And he's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But anyway, GG, man. What a great game here from the Zerg. It was just both players took their punches. That's what I like. In a game of StarCraft where both players are taking pretty significant punches economically, army-wise. Like, a lot of Lings died in this game, but able to come out on top anyway. That's always what I'm impressed about. So, let's get the sound up, I guess. 169, 134,000 points. The sequel did outproduce by a 3-to-1 ratio and got killed by closer to a 2-1 ratio. So, I mean, that's just the production capabilities of the Zerg if they're not that hurt economically. Buildings raised 26-8. That's pretty impressive. And then finally, outspending WhiteRa by about 13,000 resources in 28 minutes will get it done. So GG, that was fun. That was really, really fun. Great, great job by the sequel. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.